Russia has just warned Donald Trump to back off over Ukraine with more threats of World War III. The US president seems to now realise, at least, that Russian President Vladimir Putin has been playing him, talking peace to Trump, but instead beefing up attacks on Ukrainian civilians.
By 2026, nearly half of the US Air Force's F-15C fleet faced structural failure, a stark signal that America's air dominance was at risk. The early 2010s brought aging jets, budget cuts, and the rapid advancement of rival air forces. The United States, long considered the world's leading air power, confronted a shrinking and outdated fighter fleet just as China and Russia accelerated their own modernization. The F-15EX Eagle emerged as a direct response to this crisis. With its ability to carry up to 29,000 pounds of weapons, unmatched by any other fighter in the fleet, the EX represents a leap in standoff missile capability. Its arrival signals a turning point in how the Air Force addresses both current and future threats, raising new questions about the path that led to this pivotal moment. In the aftermath of the Cold War, the US Air Force underwent sweeping changes. Defense budgets shrank, and strategic priorities shifted towards smaller, unconventional conflicts. This environment delayed the modernization of the fighter fleet, leaving the Air Force reliant on jets first introduced in the 1970s. The F-15C and D models, once the backbone of American air superiority, became increasingly vulnerable as adversaries advanced. China and Russia invested heavily in next-generation fighters, fielding the J-20 and Su-57, while the US faced a growing gap between its existing capabilities and emerging threats. The scale of the problem became clear by the mid-2010s. The F-15C fleet, already showing signs of structural fatigue, faced escalating maintenance costs and diminishing returns. Technicians frequently resorted to cannibalizing parts from retired aircraft just to keep operational jets mission-ready. Analysts projected that by 2026, nearly half of these airframes would be grounded due to structural failure. The Air Force responded with incremental upgrades, most notably the Golden Eagle Modernization Program, which equipped 179 F-15Cs with new ESA radars, infrared search and track systems, and the Eagle Passive Active Warning and Survivability System, EPABUSS. Yet these improvements could only delay the inevitable. The airframes themselves were approaching the end of their service lives, and the pace of technological change among peer competitors showed no sign of slowing. Meanwhile, the Air Force's long-term solution encountered its own obstacles. The F-35 program, intended to replace multiple legacy platforms, suffered from repeated delays, cost overruns, and technical challenges in stealth, propulsion, and software integration. The timeline for bringing the F-35 into full operational service slipped repeatedly, leaving a growing shortfall in available fighters as F-15Cs neared retirement. The situation was further complicated by earlier decisions regarding the F-22 Raptor. Initially, the Air Force planned to acquire 381 F-22s to fully replace the F-15C in the air superiority role. However, only 187 Raptors were ultimately procured before production ended. Restarting F-22 manufacturing was evaluated, but dismissed as prohibitively expensive and logistically complex, requiring the costly reestablishment of supply chains and production lines. These constraints forced the Air Force to make difficult choices. With no easy path to rapidly fielding enough F-35s and no viable option to restart F-22 production, leadership turned to stopgap measures. Incremental upgrades to legacy fighters kept a shrinking fleet in the air, but operational readiness suffered. The Air Force faced a scenario in which it could be outnumbered and technologically outmatched by adversaries who had invested heavily in advanced sensors, electronic warfare capabilities, and long-range missile systems. The risk was not hypothetical. Every year of delay increased the likelihood that the US would lose its qualitative edge in contested airspace. The operational gap widened as the number of combat-ready aircraft declined. Maintenance and modernization consumed resources, but the underlying structural and technological limitations of the F-15C remained. The Air Force's ability to project power and maintain air superiority came under increasing strain, raising concerns among defense planners about America's ability to deter or defeat peer adversaries in a high-end conflict. This environment demanded a solution that could be fielded quickly, affordably, and at scale. The F-15X emerged as the answer to this challenge, blending the proven reliability of the F-15 platform with a suite of modern systems designed for the complexities of 21st century warfare. Its introduction marked a decisive shift in the Air Force's approach, offering not just a stopgap, but a platform capable of adapting to evolving threats and operational requirements. The F-15X's arrival did more than fill a numerical gap. It introduced new capabilities that would shape the future of aerial combat. Its combination of legacy design and state-of-the-art technology set the stage for a fundamental change in how the Air Force approached contested airspace. Understanding what makes the F-15EX different and why it matters requires a closer look at the innovations that define its role on the modern battlefield. The F-15X stands apart by fundamentally altering what a fourth-generation fighter can achieve on the modern battlefield. It brings together a proven airframe with a suite of advanced technologies, closing the gap between legacy platforms and the demands of contemporary air combat. Rather than a simple upgrade, it is a comprehensive modernization that leverages existing infrastructure for rapid fielding and operational impact. Central to the F-15EX's combat effectiveness is the synergy between its ANAPG-82 V1 AESA radar and the Eagle passive active warning and survivability system. Working in tandem, these systems allow the aircraft to detect, track, and counter threats before adversaries are even aware of its presence. The AESA radar delivers high-resolution tracking of multiple targets in complex environments, while EPWSS offers real-time electronic countermeasures against radar-guided weapons and jamming attempts. This layered approach enhances survivability and lethality in contested airspace, giving pilots a decisive edge against integrated air defense networks and peer adversaries. The F-15X's digital fly-by-wire control system brings tangible performance gains to the platform. By replacing legacy mechanical linkages with digital controls, the system optimizes stability and handling during high-stress maneuvers. Notably, this upgrade reactivates the wing pylons, restoring 2 additional weapon stations that had previously been restricted for safety reasons. This change directly translates to increased firepower and mission flexibility, allowing the F-15X to carry more weapons without sacrificing agility or control. Even at 9G turns, the EX remains a rock-solid firing platform, ensuring accuracy and stability when it matters most. Inside the cockpit, the F-15EX introduces a 10 by 19-inch touchscreen display that consolidates flight, sensor, and weapon data into a single, intuitive interface. This modern cockpit reduces pilot workload and streamlines mission management, providing immediate access to critical information during complex operations. The addition of an advanced helmet-mounted cueing system further enhances situational awareness. Pilots can now designate and lock targets simply by looking at them, reducing engagement times and increasing responsiveness in dynamic combat scenarios. In environments where radar may be degraded or denied, the F-15EX leverages the Lockheed Martin Legion pod equipped with the IRST-21 sensor. This infrared search and track system enables the aircraft to detect and track the heat signatures of enemy aircraft, even in heavily jammed or stealth-focused environments. The ability to identify targets like China's J-20, which is designed to evade radar detection, provides a critical counter to adversary stealth capabilities. The IRST-21's passive tracking not only preserves the element of surprise, but also ensures continued targeting effectiveness when electronic warfare is in play. The F-15X's payload capacity is unmatched among U.S. fighters, supporting a wide range of mission profiles. In air-to-air combat, it can be armed with up to 12 AIM-120 AMRAAMs and AIM-9 Sidewinders, maximizing both offensive reach and defensive readiness. For strike operations, the jet can carry a diverse loadout including small-diameter bombs, joint direct attack munitions, standoff missiles like the AGM-158, JASSM, and even hypersonic weapons such as the 38 AGM-183 ARRW. The reactivated pylons and conformal fuel tanks extend both its weapon options and operational range, making the F-15EX a versatile platform for both air superiority and deep strike missions. Adaptability is built into the F-15X's architecture. Its open mission systems allow for rapid integration of new sensors, weapons, and software, ensuring the platform can evolve as threats and technologies change. Upgraded engines provide greater thrust and improved fuel efficiency, supporting long-duration sorties and enhancing reliability over earlier F-15 variants. This approach ensures not just immediate relevance, but long-term operational viability. By combining advanced radar and electronic warfare capabilities, digital controls that expand payload and maneuverability, and a cockpit designed for rapid decision-making, the F-15X redefines what a fourth-generation fighter can deliver in a high-threat environment. Its balance of firepower, survivability, and adaptability positions it as a critical asset in the Air Force's evolving force structure. This transformation in combat capability sets the stage for a broader strategic shift. The F-15X is not only a technological leap, but also a key element in how the U.S. Air Force integrates new and legacy platforms to maintain air dominance in an increasingly contested global environment. The F-15X's strategic significance lies in its ability to serve as a force multiplier within the U.S. Air Force's mixed fleet. This approach is not simply about fielding more aircraft, but about creating a balanced and resilient force structure. Fifth-generation fighters like the F-22 and F-35 offer advanced stealth and sensor fusion, but their internal weapons bays limit payload, and their high procurement and maintenance costs restrict the numbers that can be fielded. The F-15EX fills these operational gaps by delivering firepower, range, and mission flexibility at a lower cost per flight hour. With a service life of 20,000 flight hours, double that of legacy F-15s thanks to its new wing design, the EX offers long-term value and reliability for sustained operations. A defining feature of the F-15EX is its role as a missile truck in support of stealth assets. The aircraft's Amber Rack system allows it to carry up to 22 air-to-air missiles, including the AIM-120 AMRAAM and the forthcoming AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile. This capability enables the F-15X to accompany stealth fighters into contested environments, providing a substantial boost in missile volume without compromising the stealth profile of its counterparts. Stealth fighters can conserve their internal weapons for high-value targets, while the EX delivers massed firepower, supporting saturation attacks and increasing the probability of mission success against advanced air defenses. The F-15X's payload flexibility extends beyond air-to-air missions. With a maximum load of 13.6 tons, it can carry a broad array of munitions: precision-guided bombs, standoff missiles like the AGM-158 JASSM, and hypersonic weapons such as the AGM-183 ARRW. This versatility allows commanders to assign the F-15EX to air superiority, strike, or suppression of enemy air defenses, often within a single sortie. The result is a force that can adapt to shifting mission requirements and respond to emerging threats without the delays associated with reconfiguring specialized platforms. Open mission systems architecture is another pillar of the F-15EX's strategic utility. The aircraft is designed for rapid integration of new software, sensors, and weapons, enabling continuous adaptation as adversaries develop new capabilities. This modular approach reduces upgrade timelines and costs, ensuring that the EX remains operationally relevant throughout its projected decades of service. As threats evolve, whether in the electromagnetic spectrum, missile technology, or electronic warfare, the F-15X can quickly incorporate countermeasures and maintain its edge. Operational reach is a further advantage. With external fuel tanks, the F-15EX can fly over 2,760 miles, making it suitable for long-range missions and rapid deployment to distant theaters. Its top speed, exceeding Mach 2.5, allows for swift interception and flexible response to unpredictable developments in contested airspace. The EX can remain on station longer than stealth fighters, providing persistent coverage and reinforcing Allied positions during extended operations. The F-15X's mission profile includes defending U.S. airspace, enforcing no-fly zones, and conducting air patrols in less contested regions. By assigning these roles to the EX, the Air Force frees up stealth fighters to concentrate on high-threat environments where their unique capabilities are most needed. This division of labor enhances overall force effectiveness and supports continuous presence in regions where deterrence is critical. Cost-effectiveness is a central factor in the Air Force's decision to procure the F-15EX. Its design leverages existing infrastructure, maintenance lines, and pilot training pipelines established for the F-15C, streamlining integration and reducing logistical complexity. The result is a platform that can be fielded in numbers sufficient to address the shrinking legacy fleet without the prohibitive expenses associated with restarting production of out-of-service fifth-generation jets. By combining high payload, adaptability, and long service life, the F-15X amplifies the capabilities of the entire fighter fleet. Its presence ensures that the Air Force can generate mass, sustain operations, and respond flexibly to a range of threats. When paired with stealth fighters, the X's volume of fire and mission versatility create a layered defense and offense, complicating adversary planning and strengthening deterrence. The F-15X's integration into the Air Force's arsenal marks a shift in how air superiority is maintained. Rather than relying on a single class of aircraft, the mixed fleet approach leverages the unique strengths of each platform, ensuring coverage across the spectrum of conflict. As the global security environment grows more complex, this strategy provides the United States with a robust, scalable response to evolving threats. The impact of the F-15X extends well beyond technical specifications. Its arrival has not gone unnoticed among America's rivals, who are rapidly advancing their own air combat capabilities. The presence of a platform with such range, firepower, and adaptability introduces new variables into the balance of power, raising important questions about how adversaries might respond. China's J-20 and Russia's Su-57 represent the cutting edge of their respective air forces, each built to challenge U.S. air superiority with stealth, advanced avionics, and long-range missiles. Both platforms are designed to project power in contested regions, whether over the South China Sea or Eastern Europe, and to complicate the calculus of U.S. and allied planners. The arrival of the F-15X, however, introduces a set of capabilities that directly address, and in many cases, counter, the strengths of these rival fighters. At the heart of the F-15X's threat profile is its integration of the Raytheon ANAPG-82 V1AESA radar and the Eagle passive active warning and survivability system. The AESA radar provides the X with a significant edge in target detection, tracking, and engagement. It can simultaneously monitor and engage multiple targets, even in environments saturated with electronic jamming or clutter. This radar system is especially effective against stealth aircraft that rely on reduced radar cross-sections, as it can adapt frequencies and waveforms to improve detection probabilities. When paired with APA-SS, the F-15EX gains the ability to detect, identify, and jam enemy radar and missile guidance systems. This combination not only enhances survivability, but also disrupts the kill chain of adversary fighters and integrated air defense networks, forcing rival pilots to operate at a disadvantage. The F-15X's payload capacity is a defining factor in its deterrent value. With the Amber rack system, the aircraft can carry up to 22 air-to-air missiles, far exceeding the typical loadouts of the J-20 or Su-57. This volume of fire allows the EX to engage multiple threats in a single sortie, supporting saturation tactics that can overwhelm both manned and unmanned adversaries. The ability to sustain high missile counts without sacrificing range or maneuverability means the F-15EX can maintain a persistent presence in contested airspace, supporting both offensive and defensive operations. In scenarios where adversaries might attempt to mass aircraft for a numerical advantage, the X's firepower serves as a counterbalance, complicating any attempt at local air superiority. The F-15X's adaptability extends to its integration of advanced munitions. As one of the few platforms certified to carry the AGM-183 ARRW hypersonic missile, the EX delivers a capability that few rivals can match. The AGM-183 can strike targets at standoff ranges with speeds exceeding Mach 5, making interception extremely difficult. This first strike potential allows the F-15X to threaten high-value enemy assets, such as command centers, airfields, or missile batteries, before adversaries can react. While China and Russia are developing their own hypersonic weapons, neither the J-20 nor Su-57 has demonstrated the operational integration of such systems at the same level. This gap in capability gives the U.S. Air Force a distinct advantage in both deterrence and escalation management. Direct comparison reveals the trade-offs inherent in rival designs. The J-20 prioritizes stealth and long-range engagement, but its internal weapons bays limit payload, and it remains vulnerable to detection by advanced radars and infrared search and track systems. The Su-57 emphasizes supermaneuverability and kinematic performance, yet its beyond visual range capabilities are constrained by missile capacity and sensor integration. The F-15X, by contrast, does not rely solely on stealth or close-range agility. Instead, it combines sensor fusion, electronic warfare, and overwhelming firepower to maximize its effectiveness across a spectrum of mission sets. This multi-role adaptability ensures the EX can support everything from air superiority to strike and suppression of enemy air defenses. The deployment of F-15EX squadrons in regions such as the South China Sea or Eastern Europe sends a strategic message. Its presence signals U.S. commitment to maintaining air dominance and deters aggressive maneuvers by rival powers. For adversaries, the challenge is not only the technical capabilities of the EX, but also its integration into a broader force structure that includes stealth fighters, surveillance assets, and networked command and control. The F-15X's ability to operate alongside platforms like the F-22 and F-35 amplifies its impact, creating a layered defense that complicates any attempt at a decisive breakthrough. The F-15X's influence is felt both in the technical realm and in the broader context of strategic competition. Its advanced radar and electronic warfare systems, unmatched missile load, and readiness for next-generation munitions force adversaries to reconsider their approach to air combat. In the South China Sea and Eastern Europe alike, EX squadrons force adversaries to recalculate every engagement. The F-15EX stands as a cornerstone in the evolving strategy of U.S. air dominance. Its advanced radar, electronic warfare suite, and open mission architecture provide the flexibility needed to counter emerging threats and adapt to new technologies. As global security challenges intensify, the F-15X's integration delivers sustained firepower and operational versatility, capabilities that remain critical for the Air Force's long-term effectiveness. As China fields more J-20s and Russia expands its Su-57 fleet, will the EX's missile truck doctrine prove decisive? If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe and hit the bell to stay informed on defense tech shaping tomorrow's battlefields.